It starts on a quiet morning in a small town inside a dusty repair and tailoring shop. There once was a young man named Leo. He lived with his father, who ran a small shop that was half device repair and half tailoring. One side of the room was a controlled chaos of old radios, clocks, and wires, while the other was a landscape of fabrics, colorful threads, and sewing machines. Leo helped his father, but his mind was always somewhere else. He was distracted, unfocused, and unsure of what he wanted from life. He yearned for meaning, for a sense of purpose, but he had no idea where to even begin looking. In Leo's town, a special event took place every few years. A respected mentor named Elias Rowan would select one citizen for a unique mentorship program. This wasn't about being the strongest, the most talented, or the most famous. It was about discovering clarity of mind, about finding one's inner direction. People believed that being chosen by Rome would fundamentally change their future. Leo, of course, never considered himself a candidate. He wasn't particularly good at anything. He didn't have a special craft or recognized skill. But still, a powerful curiosity pulled him toward the town square on the day of the gathering. Hundreds of people had assembled. The front rows were filled with the town's brightest young talents, all standing proudly. There were instrument makers, their hands calloused from years of work. There were athletes, their bodies poised and ready. There were tech apprentices with sharp, intelligent eyes, and writers and architects clutching their portfolios. Leo lingered in the back, trying his best to blend into the shadows, feeling entirely out of place. But as he shifted his weight to get a better view, his foot caught on a loose cobblestone. He stumbled forward, his arms flailing, and crashed right into a wooden stand, sending him tumbling to the ground directly in front of Elias Rowan. A dead silence fell over the crowd. Every single eye was on him. But Rowan, calm and composed, stepped forward. He reached down, helped Leo to his feet, and then, in a clear voice that carried across the square, he said, "You, come with me." A wave of gasps and murmurs spread through the crowd. Leo felt a hot flush of embarrassment rise in his face. He could barely get the words out, whispering, "Why me?" Rowan simply replied, "You arrived with honesty. That's enough." So Leo joined Rowan's small group of mentees. And what a group it was. There was Astra, a painter whose brush strokes seemed to capture pure emotion. There was Gareth, a metalworker apprentice who could shape steel as if it were clay. There was Lena, a rhythmic gymnast whose movements were like poetry in motion. And Harun, a scholar whose knowledge was vast, alongside Mira, a strategist who could see 10 steps ahead in any situation. They were all so disciplined, so focused, so incredibly talented. Among these polished stones, Leo felt like a cracked, misplaced tile. The lessons themselves seemed simple on the surface, but were incredibly difficult in practice. Breathe slowly. Understand your thoughts. Organize your mind. Act with purpose. Day after day, Leo struggled. He felt clumsy, slow, and embarrassed. The desire to quit, to just run back to the familiar clutter of his father's shop, was overwhelming. But whenever he looked at Elias Rowan, he didn't see disappointment in the mentor's eyes. He saw curiosity. Far away, in another city, a man named Damien Vale heard rumors of the new selection. Damien was a former mentee of Rowan's from years ago. He had been exceptionally gifted, but his obsession with perfection had twisted into a bitter instability, and he eventually left his training, restless and resentful. When he learned that Rowan had chosen Leo, a complete nobody, with no apparent talent, he felt deeply insulted. He saw it as a stain on his own legacy. Determined to challenge Rowan's judgment and prove that worth comes only from flawless, innate ability, Damien began the long walk back to his old town. Meanwhile, Leo's frustration reached its peak. One evening, after another day of feeling like a failure, he finally approached Elias Rowan. He confessed, his voice heavy, "Everyone else here is naturally gifted. They belong. I'm just trying not to fall behind." Rowan listened, nodding thoughtfully. Then he handed Leo something small. It wasn't a secret scroll or a mystical symbol of power. It was just a worn, empty journal. Rowan said, "This belonged to someone who kept waiting for a sign that they were ready. They waited and waited until they realized the pages stay empty unless you choose to write in them." Leo opened the journal. Every single page was blank. He looked up, confused. "Is there supposed to be something here?" he asked. Rowan's answer was simple, yet it struck Leo with the force of lightning. "Only what you put into it. Your value begins the moment you stop waiting for permission to have it." For the first time, Leo didn't feel hopeless or inadequate. He felt responsible. He felt awake. Just as this realization dawned, Damien Vale arrived in town. He strode into the training grounds and demanded to see the new student, the one he was so certain was unworthy. Leo stepped forward, his posture unsure, but his gaze steady. Damien looked him up and down with a contemptuous sneer. "You?" he scoffed. "You're plain, ordinary. Why would a master like Rowan choose you?" Leo held the empty journal in his hand, its weight now feeling like an anchor. He replied, his voice quiet but firm, "Maybe I am ordinary, but ordinary people can learn and change and move forward. And that's enough." Their confrontation wasn't a physical fight. It was a clash of fundamental beliefs. Damien believed that only the naturally exceptional had any real value. Leo now believed that the journey of growth mattered far more than the illusion of perfection. Finally, Elias Rowan stepped between them. He looked at his former student and said, "Damien, Leo understands something you never allowed yourself to see. Worth is not a gift you are given. It is something you build." Damien turned away, the bitter truth dawning on him. He had lost this argument long before he had even arrived. The townspeople celebrated Leo not as a hero who had vanquished a villain, but as one of their own who had found himself. Leo returned to his father's repair and tailoring shop. His father wrapped him in a proud, warm hug. And Leo, looking down at the blank journal in his hands, felt something he had never truly felt before: direction. And so your story doesn't begin when someone else tells you that you're special. It begins the moment you decide to pick up the pen and write it yourself. Thanks for watching.